Yo, what's a crack, my happy face full of your personal trainer T-Talks, changing people's lives for the better through strength and fitness. I was going through the videos I shoot in the gym to get that creative juice going and come up with ideas for new content. And then it hit me. In my last mesocycle, every day was back day in one way or another.
Back guy approved.
And you might be wondering now, is this good? Is this optimal? Should I do it myself? And the most hated answer nobody wants to hear even though it's true. Drum roll, please. It depends. But let's all chill for a second and take a step back to analyze why we've been conditioned to think that training a muscle group every day is quote-unquote bad. When we look at the culture of fitness, it is undeniable that bodybuilding has had, and still has to this day, an enormous influence. In the pursuit of better aesthetics, bodybuilding has popularized the so-called muscle splits, whereby every session is specifically designed to overload one muscle group. Chest day, back, legs, shoulders, arms, etc. But the reality of it all is that it is impossible to isolate muscles. Yes, of course, you could emphasize the stimulus to a specific area of your body, but the antagonistic muscle group must contract to provide stability at the joint. Besides, the human body is meant to move as a whole. Our anatomy shows us time after time that muscles want to work together with other muscle groups. Research seems to suggest that you could make better progress if we train muscles multiple times per week. Generally speaking, the bigger the muscle, the longer it takes to recover, and thus the training frequency would fall on the lower side of the spectrum. This is true for the most part if we train for the purpose of maximizing hypertrophic adaptations, aka muscle growth. But if your main goal is to improve your performance in a specific sport and muscle gains are a nice bonus that happens organically without even trying, then you could argue that stimulating large muscle groups every day in your training is not only feasible but desirable. Think about a runner or a cyclist. Professional athletes competing in lower body dominant sports like these are not gonna be like, sorry coach, I don't think it's a good idea to cover this distance today because my legs are sore from the squats I did yesterday, so I'm just gonna skip this session. Imagine what the coach's reaction will be.
It doesn't matter what you think! What?
If your training is athletic in any shape or form, every day is leg day. Every day is back day. Every day is core day. If you're a gymnast, every day is arm and shoulder day. There's no way around it. Up to only a few weeks ago I was running an upper-lower split, but I was actually training my legs every day. On the upper body day, I was stimulating my lower body as part of my GPP in a more metabolic conditioning style, but during my lower body session, I specifically sought to provide the type of stress that would cause sufficient muscle damage and mechanical tension in the muscles of my legs and glutes. So, every day was leg day. The same can be said about the back. Given how multi-layered the back complex is, you could train the back muscles every single time you go to the gym. Even for the purpose of muscle growth, I think it would be possible, and for some individuals it might be even desirable, to train the back with very high frequency. Provided that you run some sort of periodization based on light, medium, and heavy sessions, and that you also alternate the upper and lower areas of your back, then you should be fine. Hey, but let's relax for a second. I'm not suggesting that you should train your back every day. But if someone needs to bring up its back for whatever reason, it would be possible to implement an ultra high frequency stimulus because the muscles in your back can take a great deal of punishment. I'll tell you what, if this video gets at least 100 likes, I'll run a high-frequency back training protocol and I'll make a video about it. I'll share my thoughts, experience, and overall results. A very similar argument could be made about the core muscles. It's impossible not to train the midsection if your training is mostly based on big compound movements. Think about how hard you have to contract your abdominal area to do deadlifts and squats, for example. You can definitely overload multi-joint exercises that put special emphasis on a particular muscle group. Let's say that you have 2 push days for your upper body in your current mesocycle, but one day is more geared towards shoulders, whereas the other is more chest focused. You're definitely going to engage both of these muscle groups in each session, but the activation level and stimulus will be different. You might want to finish off each session with smaller exercises to target those areas that are more difficult to stimulate through bigger compound lifts. If you want to maximally develop certain muscles for a specific reason, then it would make sense to add more training volume and prioritize certain exercises at the beginning of your workout. But if your primary motivation is skill-based because you want to improve your performance for a given sport, many of you will be much better off completing full-body training sessions multiple times per week. So the takeaway of this video is that bro splits don't actually exist. It's impossible to train certain muscle groups without the contribution of others. There is no chest day without shoulders and triceps. There is no shoulder day without your chest and triceps. And you are not going to maximally develop the triceps without the chest and the shoulders playing a key role in compound lifts. Remember that human anatomy always seeks to maximize mechanical advantage in every possible way. That means multiple muscle groups working together. You overload movement patterns, not just muscles in isolation. If your goal is to maximize hypertrophy, bro splits are not the most optimal way to achieve your goal.
I said what I said!
Training muscle groups between 2 to 4 times per week seems to produce better muscle building results. And finally, bro splits are not the best option for people who truly strive to improve their performance in a given sport. Alright, that's the end of my rant for today. Thank you so much for sticking till the end. If you think that you learned something new and you found value in today's video, I would really appreciate if you could drop me a like. If you don't want to miss any upcoming videos, make sure to subscribe to the channel and click on the bell to get notified when I release new content. I gotta go eat. In the meantime, stay fit, stay strong, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more gains. Peace.